Kemmerer Village in Assumption is in studio right now. I have Executive Director Shalis Nagel. Great to have you back here, Shalis.
Thanks, Avery.
Also, I have Volunteer and Project Coordinator Jan Trauber. Great to have you here, Jan.
Thank you, Avery. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you in studio for the first time.
Yeah.
Before we get to you, Jan, I wanted to give Shalis a chance to update us on what's been going on with Kemmerer Village in Assumption. How's it been going since the last time we talked about a month ago?
Things have been going well. We are continuing to hire, so very excited about that. We are looking to reopen our third residential cottage starting at the end of March and progressing on into April. We are still hiring for residential techs and residential therapists, so you can visit our website, kemmerervillage.org/employment for that. Looking for camp to be open really soon. It's open for rentals now. We have confirmation camp under the Presbyterian pastors. It's some pre-confirmation classes at the end of March. You can visit the campcrew.org website to register for that.
How did the 150th adoption party go?
Went really well.
Yeah.
Went really well. Everyone had a really good time. Great to celebrate the staff and families who make those adoptions possible. John McWard dropped in from the Christian County Court. We appreciate that. We had a couple of DCFS administrators there. We appreciate that. And we had several board members attend as well.
Shifting gears for a moment, Jan, you're the volunteer and project coordinator. As volunteer and project coordinator, I can make an inference on what you do, but in your words, what do you do?
Well, my job is to help build the support for the campus. We, of course, are not-for-profit, and so any assistance we can get from the community, not only Presbyterian churches, but anybody in the community is more than welcome. It's a great way for people to see what really happens on campus and the special things that happen on campus, actually, which is I'm very proud to be able to work with. So volunteers, when I started out during the pandemic, so it was kind of challenging to try to recruit volunteers because we couldn't bring people on campus due to the pandemic. So got a good opportunity to kind of fine tune things and really think about it and do a lot of research. And so I think we're really kickstarting it. It's going really well. Individual volunteer opportunities have been available, but there's more and more opportunities. Right now, we have a program that'll be beginning the 21st of March and going for 10 weeks following that, called Horses and Heroes. Very special program, equine therapy for community children. But the cool part about the program is our residents, when they get to a certain level, work with the children. So it's an amazing program. It truly is.
Who is eligible to volunteer?
Anybody that's 13 years and above. Okay. We ask for the 13-year-old to about maybe 16 have a parent there because they can't drive, of course. But other than that, there's really open to anything. Anybody that has an interest in many of the opportunities that we have. Horses and Heroes is one opportunity, as I stated. We also have had a request from our community service program. They would love to find somebody, perhaps a retiree, that would come on once a week, once every 2 weeks, and do our fleet detail. We have 13 vehicles on campus that are going nonstop. We have close to 200 children in foster care. So we have lots of sticky fingers, lots of things that are in the vans and the vehicles. And the case managers try really hard to keep up on that, but they've got lots of other things to do too. So that's one request that we're looking for right now.
Okay.
Another thing that's upcoming that's really going to be fun is we are asking for people that anybody would like to come on campus on Thursday, March the 23rd at 10 a.m. We're having an extravaganza where we're stuffing eggs for our egg hunt. We're going to have homemade cookies, coffee, tea, just a great way for people to come on campus, see, again, what's going on. If Shalis would allow, and I'm sure she will, we'll probably be able to offer tours if people are interested and have never been on campus before. Just a great way to meet staff, meet other volunteers, and have a task that is for the kids. At the end of the day, we will have a finished product that will be of benefit to not only the residential kids, but the foster kids. We have an Easter egg hunt on Monday, April the 3rd.
And it sounds like there are plenty of opportunities available, especially this month. Generally speaking, Jan, what other kind of opportunities can people volunteer for?
Throughout the year, Christmas is huge. As you can imagine, with the 200 plus kids that are in our care, we have lots and lots of donations for Christmas. So helping to organize and, just to organize and distribute to the different areas is huge,
Right.
a huge task. Other things that we have during the summer, and actually fall also, we have group volunteers that will come in, and it might be a church group, it might be a school group, university, civic group. We had a organization, a corporate group come from Mattoon as a group. What am I trying to say? A group building process. So anyway, they come on campus and we have lots of tasks. We paint fences, we paint buildings. A group and I last summer painted the school, the interior of the school on campus. We had another group that maintained the softball field. So there's always lots of landscaping, planting, that type of thing. If groups come on campus, we also have a lodge that's a little nicer. It's very nice. It was just remodeled, but and then we have a more rustic retreat center, which is awesome for high school, middle school kids that want to come on, and that holds up to 14. So it's a great way for kids to have a retreat also.
You mentioned all sorts of opportunities on campus. What kind of opportunities, if any, are there off campus to volunteer?
Well, with Camp Kemmerer, the Kemmerer just acquired. I was trying to find the correct term. Camp Kemmerer, and I'm going April 1st and April 30th. I've not had the opportunity to go yet, but it's down in Southern Illinois, close to the Shawnee National Forest. It's absolutely beautiful is what I've heard. So very excited about that. So we also can ask for volunteers to come on April 1st and April 30th. They're both Saturdays, start about 8 o'clock in the morning and go until 4 o'clock. I will give my phone number. Shalis gave our web address. If anybody has any questions further about those type of volunteer opportunities, of course, I would be more than happy to have people call and we'll have a chat.
Yeah, I guess are you just preparing the camp and whatnot, basically
Absolutely.
getting it all ready to go for the upcoming camping season?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay,
I've been working with one of our board members who's also very active in Camp Kemmerer. And Sherry's worked there 27 years, so she's a wealth of information about the camp. She's gotten me pretty excited about it. And, it's a very rustic setting. It's out in the national forest. So lots of painting, lots of weeding, she was telling me that I guess the water level is really low down there, which I did not realize. But anyway, they're having real challenges with their dock and having to figure out how they're going to get their piers moved out and for the kids to be able to swim and canoe and such.
Nice.
So
creative ideas welcome for Camp Kemmerer.
Yes.
Shalis, remind me, is there day camps for the summer through Kemmerer Village and Camp Kemmerer?
There are day camps down at Camp Kemmerer. We don't run day camp programming at Kemmerer Village.
That's what I meant.
Right. So down at Camp Kemmerer, there's camping for all levels. There's day camps, which is exactly what it says. And then there's also mini camps. So for kids who are newer to the overnight camp experience, instead of staying a whole week, they just stay 2 or 3 days and they just get introduced to the idea of overnight camping. So the other volunteer opportunity at Camp Kemmerer is to be a unit director. So to actually manage programming for a week of camp. It's a really fun way to get immersed in the Christian camping season down there. And you're provided with a curriculum. So you don't have to make up your own lesson plans for the week, but to lead the kids in their week of discovery. And it's a really great experience.
And that's one, as you mentioned, another opportunity you can have through Camp Kemmerer. Jan, what is your contact information again?
My phone number
for the programming and whatnot. Go ahead.
Absolutely. My phone number would be the best way.
Okay.
217-226-2231.
All right. That is Project and Volunteer Coordinator Jan Trauber with Kemmerer Village in Assumption. She's here with Executive Director Shalis Nagel. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
WTIM. Your information station, WTIM.
It's a WTIM morning show. I'm Avery Cooper. Glad to have you along. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have Kemmerer Village and Assumption in studio right now. That includes Executive Director Shalis Nagel and special guest, Volunteer and Project Coordinator Jan Trauber. Jan, we talked a lot about a lot of the opportunities available through volunteering and dedicating some of your time through Kemmerer Village, but there's another subset of volunteering your time through Kemmerer Village that we didn't touch on. What is that?
Exactly, mentoring. And it really is a form of volunteerism. It's just more intense, I guess, more individualized. We just ask for our therapists to keep an eye out on children on a residential, and we hope someday to move this to the case management in foster care also. But a child that just needs a little more special attention one-on-one with an adult. Many of our children come from homes that have had difficult situations, and they need positive adult interaction.
Mm.
So when I started this job, I thought, well, I really, since I'm supposed to be in charge of mentorships, I probably better do it. So I did, and it honestly is one of the best things I've ever done. Truly.
What about it was so rewarding?
Just to be able to have an interaction. First of all, I raised girls. And my mentee is a boy. So I was a little nervous about that.
Mhm.
You know, I've had nephews, etc. But this young man is he's amazing. He's become a very important part of my life. He has graduated from Kemmerer and has gone on to another facility, and was able to come visit once he wasn't, we weren't connected because we were both at Kemmerer Village.
Right.
So he's shared Christmas and Thanksgiving, knows my kids, my grandchild. So it's very rewarding to see just his growth through, again, I hate to keep saying horses and heroes, but it was amazing. I mean, I watched that kid blossom, being somebody that was just so nervous and uptight about just even talking to people, and then being able to learn to trust this huge draft horse, and then learn to trust helping another child, a special needs child, on that draft horse, and being the person responsible for that. And it was just, it's amazing. It really is amazing. So mentorships is, we just ask people that have an interest in children, contact me.
Mhm.
If you have a special place in your heart where you think I have something that I could share with a child, whether that be art, baking, music. We actually just had 2 drum mentors join yesterday. So anyway, it's a great opportunity. There is some onboarding and paperwork, of course. Our children are at-risk youth, and so Department of Children and Family Services are screening that has to be done. But once people understand, it's very much worth it. So mentoring's a special thing.
You mentioned how you were a little nervous to mentor someone. You've had kids and you've had nieces, nephews. What I want to know is what you would tell someone who's on the fence or maybe a little nervous about mentoring someone. Like, what would you tell them to do?
They just need to go for it.
Yeah.
Talk to me, because I wasn't really nervous. I was just unsure. I didn't know exactly what to expect. And I think sometimes people think, well, children that are in facilities such as Kemmerer are very difficult children. All children can be difficult.
That's true.
So, but it's just that every child has the need and should have the privilege of having one-on-one contact with somebody. And these children, especially right now, need that. And when they get to a certain point in their treatment, we can be notified that that's needed and help find that.
Jan, I have time for one more question. From a general volunteer standpoint, what have other people told you as the reason for why they volunteer?
They just enjoy it. It's a way to learn new tasks. I've watched people that are very unsure of themselves become very confident, very proud of what they do, build self-esteem, sense of worthiness, fulfillment. I've learned all kinds of things about horses that I never knew, which is really interesting. And friendships, as I think I mentioned earlier, I've seen lots of friendships bud on campus of volunteers. So it lessens stress. It's just a great way to try something different.
That is volunteer and project coordinator Jan Travers. She's also here with executive director of Kemmerer Village in Assumption, Shaula Nagel. I want to thank you both so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me.
Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Avery.
Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. You can find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. Also listen to WTIM anytime when you go to TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.